Ludum Dare 56 caught me by surprise. You see, I was at my dad's birthday party. Happy birthday, Dad. And Uncle Lance comes up to me and says, "When's your next Ludum Dare?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'll look it up." Today. Spit it out, kid. Today. How's school? Thanks to Uncle Lance for making this video possible. The theme is tiny creatures, and I am going to make a game like this game, Gnorp Apologue. This is what I thought of when I thought of tiny creatures. These little suckers. I don't even know what the game's about, but it looks really cute. Made a lot of money too. That's really cool. I don't know what, I want to make something like that. Tomorrow I have basically no time because I have a college tour. So I'm going to be touring my college all of tomorrow. All I have is one day is Sunday. So, I don't know, I'm going to have to scope really small for this, but we'll see. So I started by overscoping literally everything. I wanted to create a colony of tiny creatures called Flemingtons. They would do jobs, eat, sleep, and talk. I really wanted them to feel alive, despite their very simple appearance. I made a purple color palette and found this pixelated font, and then it was all business. It was time to program the job system. This was the highlight of this trip. Even though I got it to work in the end, it was ridiculously frustrating. My code was a black box. I didn't even really understand it. So I drew this to try to figure it out. You see, at the time I had two different systems that were clashing, the state system and the job system. So I combined them. This helped a lot. But it wasn't quite enough. When submission time rolled around, it was clear I was not going to have a game to submit. I was feeling pretty discouraged. But I was not going to give up. I decided to enter into the jam, which lasted 3 days instead of 2. I started by making this debug view for my jobs and their tasks, which helped with debugging. Then I realized that this game would probably be better if it was top down, so I set up a tile map. The game already started to make a lot more sense. It was finally starting to come together. Kind of. But now it was Monday, meaning I had linear algebra at 2 o'clock. Thankfully, it's an online class.
It's just a distributed property. Is this a vector space? Specifically, would define this as what you might call second-degree polynomial.
Then I made the worms destroy your buildings, which was great for gameplay, but exposed a lot of issues with my code. What if Bob is moving to his house to go sleep, but in the process, his house gets destroyed? It's just not as simple as you might think. Here's a clip of me trying to explain how I went about fixing these problems. Okay, so Flemington wants to talk to somebody. So he finds someone, he moves towards them, but as he's moving toward them, they die. Well, stupid little Flemington's going to keep moving towards him because he doesn't know that. So that's why we have events. Whenever our Flemington takes a task called a talk task, which contains a reference to who we want to talk to, we subscribe to this person's died event so that we know to cancel the task whenever this person dies. Well, now let's get into the Flemington's brain. So it starts off, we look, do we have any needs? Like, do we need to eat, sleep, or talk? And if we need to, can we do these things? If we are deciding if we can do a task, we basically just call this function that returns a task. And if we can't do that, it's just going to return an idle task. If we can, but we need to do something else first, like grab a material or an item to deliver, then it's going to return that, and we'll be like, okay, we can do this then. If we can, then it's just going to return the task itself. So when I have a task, what do I do? First I ask, am I in the position? Well, if I'm not, then move there. If I am, then go do some work. Dadgummit. So if I'm not, then move to the target position. And if I am, then call this function on the task until the task calls its completed event. In which we come over here and we say, task completed. So we can be like, okay, we're done with this task. Let's get a new one, right? Anyways, I hope someone found that interesting. All that was left for me to do now was to playtest the game.
Jackson had he got one of the Rebel things from Dust Bros that has like a Red Bull. It's like made with Red Bull.
Then I submitted my game with no time to spare. Is the final product disappointing? Well, it depends on who you ask. So let's ask the people.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Coolline, and today we're gonna check out how my game is ranked this Sunday. I have a great feeling about the